Yeah, I'm always happy when technology works, Jared. So I'm so happy Jared Rothberg is with me today from JamPro, and so many people know you already, but the bottom line is I think that you have probably become even more popular during a pandemic than you ever dreamed that you would be. You were pretty busy before COVID-19 with your cleaning services. So I want first just talk to me about what JamPro does totally pre-COVID-19.
Sure. So JamPro, our primary, our bread and butter business has always been recurring janitorial services. So cleaning schools and, churches and fitness centers, office buildings, medical buildings, any commercial space on a regular basis, regular janitorial services. That's our primary business.
So one of the things I learned from and you probably know where I'm going, but one of the things I learned from you, and there's a big difference between, letting just anybody into your office complex to clean is, and this isn't to say that there are, in any business, there are better and best services and how you do things. And one of the things I learned is in how JamPro prides itself is how they go into an office building, how they use different products, how their rags are color coded. And I find it really important. And it's why I found it important is I think first and foremost, it's the questions that we may not know to ask as someone who is hiring a service.
Yeah. So I mean, what you said is right on point. Good, better, best. When you're looking to compare, you want to make sure that the company that you're using is thinking about cross-contamination. So you're talking, you kind of alluded to the multicolored microfiber cloths.
Mm-hmm.
If your janitorial company is using a plain white rag, and they may be using that same rag to clean your phones as they are to cleaning your restrooms. So we use multicolor microfiber towels so that everybody knows that if you're using a red one, that's the one that's used in the restroom. So you're not taking that red rag and then also cleaning, someone's desk with it. So, thinking about those little things, thinking about what products we use, hospital grade disinfectants, backpack vacuums, commercial tools, because really the barrier to entry for janitorial is minimal. Anybody can go to Home Depot, pick up a mop and a bucket and say they're a janitorial company. But you don't know if that person is going to be insured. You don't know if, they have that back end support where if something goes wrong or, you're trusting someone in your building in the middle of the night and things can go wrong. You need to know who's going to be in your building, and you need to know that they're using the right products and treating your facility the way you'd want it to be treated.
I think that's so important. And whether you chose JamPro or not, I think really what you're alluding to is that you have to know what questions to ask. And, so many of us in an office complex have gone by, smiled, said hello to our janitorial services, can't live without them. We want, our areas to be clean. And again, I'm really speaking before the whole breakout, but we don't necessarily notice what's on the cart, but I think now we're really going to notice, and we're going to start asking a lot more questions. I know that even my husband in his office, he has his own cleaning service, his building has his own cleaning service, and I've been educated, whether it's been by you or just simple news stories. We're all listening to the news and seeing these foggers and these, cleaning supplies, and then every day there's a different news story out that says you need this, you don't need that. It's sort of, it's very confusing, it's very scary. I always say, you want to listen to the news, you also want to go to the expert. So what is it that we need to know, and what do we need to ask?
Well, first of all, you don't need to be scared. There are plenty of companies out there, including JanPro, that have been doing these things for a long time. And I would say that that's where, there's a good number of companies that know what they're doing, that are professionals, and that have the experience and the know-how to get the job done right. So, I think the question to ask is, how long have you been doing it? When you see things like the foggers or the electrostatic sprayers, asking a company, were you doing this before the pandemic? I think that's a great starting question, because, for us, we've been doing those for over 5 years. And so we know the technology, we understand, what we're using, and we're not just some company that, oh, everyone's using a fogger now, so we're going to go get a fogger.
Mhm.
I think, you have to be very wary of those, types of situations. So just ask questions about how long people have been doing things, ask questions about, what products they use. And you can tell by someone's answer if, they are giving you the real good information, or they're just, yeah, we use this thing we get at Home Depot, it's good, it cleans. You're looking for words like disinfecting, sanitizing. Those are going to be the kind of the trigger words you're looking for.
And let me ask you this. Let's say that now we all know that we need to do more than we were doing before. What does that look like? And what do we need to be doing? A lot of businesses are going back. You're busier than ever. You're getting people back. I like to say you're getting people back to work. So what does that mean to get people back into their offices?
So it's different for every company. It's different for every type of business. We're working with different businesses to help accommodate what it is that they're looking for. Some of these methods of disinfecting are going to be more cost effective than others. For example, we do the disinfecting sprays. So, a lot of companies are requesting that these sprays be done at their office before employees come in. You've got people with the backpack sprayers on, and they're fogging, and you can see that they're disinfecting the entire space. We also, through the supply business, we are selling a lot of those sprayers and a lot of the chemical directly to the business, because some businesses, country clubs, for example, where there are golf courses where they want to spray the golf carts in between each round of golf, so that the next person, driving the cart is fully protected.
So let me ask you
pools,
about
stuff
that.
like that.
So in that situation, do people need to be trained a little bit how to work those backpack spray?
Yeah, so it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish. So we try to offer a custom solution for every one of our customers, whether it's us doing the service for them, which is, the traditional way, obviously, doing the nighttime janitorial, doing those sprays. But we also offer this solution where we can provide the equipment, provide the training, and you can do it yourself. It'll be more cost effective. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still pricey, but it'll be much more cost effective than having a company come out and spray your facility over and over and over again.
Does your facility need to be, so, I mean, I would imagine, you have a golf cart going out. You want to spray that every use, but does that mean, like, I'm sitting at my desk, now I'm at home, but I'm sitting at my desk in my office, let's say in a building, as I leave that night, does that need to be sprayed every night?
So it doesn't necessarily need to be sprayed every night. If your janitorial company is doing a good job and disinfecting, then and wiping everything down, then you should be okay. And you're the primary user for your office. It's not like people are, it's not like a shared workspace.
Okay.
But when you're dealing with a space like a swim school or a fitness center where you have a class, and then the next class is about to come in 20 minutes later, how do you disinfect that space in between? And that's really where, someone buying the sprayer themselves, getting the training from us on how to use it, and then them, doing it themselves is much more cost effective, because no company is going to be cost effective to have them, stand around and spray in between each one of your fitness classes, for example.
Right,
So
right.
we just try to offer solutions for everybody, because it's not a one size fits all.
So, I've talked to people, and a lot of people weren't doing this. They were wiping down and cleaning in between, let's say a golf cart, I'm sorry, or cleaning an area in between for the sake of, we're a country club or a swim club or a restaurant. And of course we want to have it look sparkly clean. But now we're in a very different world. And so, I mean, this is, something that we'll need to keep doing. I mean, is that really where we are? And
to an extent, I mean, we need to make sure that, and every business is different again, but you need to make sure that your business has the right protocol, that they are doing, that they're disinfecting, that they're keeping their employees protected, their customers protected. And that's what consumers now are looking for. They're a buddy of mine was telling me last night, he went into a sandwich shop and to pick up his carry out, and he saw that the person actually making the sandwiches, everybody had a mask on, everybody that was working there had a mask on, but the person actually making the sandwiches had their mask down around their neck. And so, they're over the lettuce and the bun and all, and so he's like, I talked to the manager, got his money back. I mean, the consumers are now driving this, and they're now looking for, is the facility I'm going into safe? And, I think as long as that's driving things, business owners and businesses are going to have to pay attention.
Yeah. And, the thing is that we're going to see this, and I see a lot of it on social media where people are voicing their concerns or complaints, I guess. And businesses are being called out. I think that, I say this all the time, the problem is that, we don't necessarily know what the rules are, or the rules, we know the rules, they're not necessarily completely enforced. I've seen a few places where the store itself, they're both in particular big boxed stores, that you have to have the mask to go in. You have to social distance while you're in there, but people are dropping their masks as they walk around because, there's not, someone trailing you. And, I think we need the honor system a little bit, and unfortunately, not everyone is buying into the fact that, it's out there, it is out there. There could be a second wave, and everybody has sort of their own belief system to it.
And there's the social dynamic to it. You walk into a store, and if you're not wearing a mask, people are going to start looking at you funny, or judging you, not wearing a mask. And then, I know some people that wear a mask only because they want to avoid that. They don't necessarily believe that all of this is as crazy as it's made out to be. But again,
I've said all along, like, I don't love masks. Nobody does. And so when I've gone out, it's, but yesterday I laughed. I got my great Bruce Springsteen mask. I have really fun masks. So if I'm going to go, man, I'm going with mask. You got to go with the mask you like. You have your Jam Pro mask and your, I will say this, I'm sitting here with my favorite Jam Pro I want to talk about some of your products, and
Sure.
you are definitely. I love that you have a code right now. It's so rare. I have a code discount. I feel so special today, everyone. But first of all, sanitizer. These are, on my counter, in my car right now. Everybody couldn't get hand sanitizer. So we're going to talk about hand sanitizer. I have gloves all over as well. I actually cook with the gloves. So, but I'm going to start with this, which I should hold it up, the sniper, because this I thought was really, really an interesting product. And when you and I first started talking about different products, I started doing a little research on my own, which I love to do. But the sniper product, I have 3 kids, don't live in Michigan. I think they'll eventually be leaving here. As this week has gone on, I think they're leaving sooner. But the sniper product, tell everyone about that, because I have to say, now I have one for all of them, or I might just keep them all for myself and then call you, but
It definitely gets you more.
Tell-
So Sniper is, it's a product we've been using for a long time. This is the product that we use when we do our fogging or our electrostatic spraying. It is a great disinfectant. It has the coronavirus kill claim. It is safe. It's one of the safest SDS sheets. So for those watching that don't know, SDS sheets are the safety data sheets. So they tell you all the different, hazards of a chemical. Sniper is not flammable. It is not an irritant if it gets on your skin. The PPE requirements are minimal. Anytime you're aerosolizing a chemical, anytime you're making a chemical airborne, you want to make sure you're either aiming it away from you or protecting with a face mask. But it is the cleanest SDS sheet, and it's just a great disinfectant. Spray and walk away. It is great for Amazon packages. It's great for your DoorDash delivery. You can spray the bag and know that you're actually disinfecting that bag. It's safe, easy to use, and relatively inexpensive for what you get.
Right. And I think that, initially everybody said spray your bag, spray your carryout, spray your Amazon packages, anything that comes in your house. And, without question, I still have friends who, regardless of the reports that come out, still feel, want to do that and feel comfortable doing that. They're high risk families, or they're just, rightfully so. Everybody has to do what they feel comfortable with. So I think like this sniper product is an amazing product to give you that barrier of, feeling secure. And I love the hand sanitizer. I've actually, then I have like little bottles everywhere. Like I said, I couldn't find, I'll tell you right now, if you're silly enough to go online, like Amazon, and try and find gloves, you might as well pay your mortgage.
So there's a national shortage of gloves. There's a national shortage. Our vendors told us about 4 weeks ago that the price of gloves is going to double. And then they told us that, we can't get any more. So we stopped.
Okay, so I only bought like 3 boxes.
You're okay.
So I need to like get more.
So for the supply business, for Jan Supply, we stocked up. We have a ton of sanitizer, of gloves, of the sniper, wipes. We've got a little bit of everything, all the hard to find stuff.
Yeah.
We've stocked up on the face masks. So, if anybody's looking, jan-supply.com. We have all of that stuff.
So you have some exciting news. I hope we can announce you're launching a website, or it's launched. Where are you in the website? Because right now your poor email, it's crazy to actually, you have to like go through an email, which is not the way to do things.
Email Seth.
Email Seth.
Yep. So for anybody that's been a customer of ours, thank you for putting up with that. Thank you for, emailing Seth and getting an email back with a product list and pricing. And, we needed to kind of modernize. We needed to get a website. And so we launched our website yesterday. I was going to announce it on this with you yesterday, but
of course we
still go live.
Of course, I had technical difficulties
That's
in my
okay.
own home.
That's okay. You know what? Technical difficulties gave us a little bit of time to weed out a few bugs in the site. But yeah, we launched our site and it's live. www.jan-supply.com. And we have all those hard to get products. We deliver in the local Metro Detroit area for $10. We're usually faster than Amazon, and local pickup, typically same day. If you order in the morning, come pick it up that afternoon. And site's live, so come check it out.
But I want everyone to definitely go to the website, check out the products that we talked about, and there's I will say this, that early during the pandemic, when no one could get paper towel and toilet paper, I mean, everybody was looking. Jan Pro, definitely you could find it there, and businesses that were still operating early on, you were supplying a lot of people. But did you find that the website was needed even more because of the pandemic? Did you feel like this was the right time to sort of modernize?
So the website was needed because you need a website in order to do business in the modern age.
Yes, you do.
But we started this supply business in November with the expectation of we're going to need about a year of ramp up before we get to the point where we need a website. And we had a phased plan of, we're going to sell supplies to our franchise owners, to our customers, our regular service janitorial customers, and then expand into kind of the general public and people who weren't already customers. The pandemic basically threw gasoline on the fire, and we did, in a 1 month span, our sales, we went from like $5,000 in sales to $200,000 in sales in a single month.
Right.
And so, it brought that need we need to be able to, be more accessible. So it wasn't that the website wasn't part of the plan, but it was, kind of off in the distance. And, the pandemic brought it all to the forefront. We needed to move a lot faster than we had anticipated.
I joke, but really the truth of the matter is that your business, unfortunately or fortunately, because of the pandemic, really brought to light the fact how much people really needed you. But if, the people who know you also know that the last thing in the world you as a business owner and your company did was ever take advantage of anyone during that. You really have spent the time to educate people. We've done a lot of media to educate people about why they need the products they need, and why they don't need some of the things that are out there. Don't just go pick up something at a national brand store and start spraying around your house or your retail store. Make sure that I always say, please call an expert. get some expert advice, whether you take it or not, talk to an expert in the field. And I think, the great news is now with your website, people can visit your website, learn about products, learn more about your business, what you do on a daily basis, what you're doing on a pandemic, when something happens to us all that's, unexpected.
Yeah.
I mean,
One thing that's been kind of a personal, something that everybody on my team knows and everybody on the Jan Pro and Jan Supply side know at the office is that we're very, very conscious about price gouging. That has been a huge issue. To the point where my Facebook page was taken down at one point because I was advertising a product that was popular during the pandemic. We had some backlash on a group chat over pricing of Purell, and I literally to kind of combat that, I went out and I told that there were one or two individuals who were sparking the debate, and I talked to them about our margins. I talked to them about what we had to pay for these products. During a pandemic, unfortunately, during a shortage, we have to pay significantly more to get those products. So even if we're making, a 20% margin on a product, if they're used to paying $5 and now it's $8, I get it. I understand why people are very, very wary or very hesitant, when Walmart has it listed on their site for $5 or $6. But we do take those very seriously. And as we get things at better pricing, our pricing fluctuates down as well. So everything from, face masks, a month ago, everybody was selling face masks for $50 to $60 a box. They're now $29. And I suspect in a week or two, they'll go down again.
But I also say this in that if I call, I get you, or I get one of your team members. I can't, and that's one of the focuses of these, conversations I'm having, with all due respect to a Home Depot or nationally. Yes, I'd love to get them on the phone, but, but the truth of the matter is in our community or Jan Pro, you're a franchise in Jan Pro and other communities, you're going to get you on the phone. You have to look at me as my client, my customer, cleaning my business, taking care of me in a pandemic, taking care of me when there's not a pandemic. And that's a big difference in, our local, and shopping local and in the business world. And that's, one of the benefits of who we hire.
Absolutely. And trust is everything. Building that trust with the community, building that trust with our customer base, our franchise owners. They know that when they come to Jan Pro or Jan Supply, they're getting a fair deal. And they're getting that expert advice. And we don't claim to know everything, so I don't want to overstate it, but I can always find the answer.
And I think that's important because, the truth of the matter is we didn't know a lot in March, but, we knew in March we weren't doing something within our offices, our own homes, our retail businesses. And in order to, the number one thing I'm hearing is, how do I get my employees, how do I get my customers back in the door where they're going to feel safe? And I know that I've said, you need to call Jared, you need to call Jan Pro, and he's going to walk you through if he's the right person for you and how he's going to handle your business. Because, how are you going to wipe down your counters every day? What are you going to put in front of your customers? How are you going to clean on a daily basis? Who's coming in at night? When you walk by the cart, is it all white rags or different color? I mean, that's my favorite trick of knowing that now. I'll never walk by a cart again.
We've got a few of those tricks. We got some of those are, I had a sales rep a few years ago, and he taught me this magic trick. So he'd go into a facility, and when he's waiting in the lobby, he'd look under the floor mats. And if you look under a floor mat, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a square. Okay, so you're going to be able to see clean floor underneath the floor mat, and everywhere else around it is going to be dirty. And so he'd wait for his appointment to come in, and he'd just be standing there looking at that floor. And then as soon as they come in, he'd be like, "Oh, hey, yep. How are you doing? I'm Jimmy. How are you?" And well, what were you looking at? And then he magic trick. Well, your floors are they're a little dirty. And so he would then flip that up, and the customer wouldn't believe it. They'd be shocked. So, those types of things, that expertise, understanding the difference between dirty and clean, disinfecting and cleaning, just understanding the terms and understanding what people are looking for and what people actually need. It's a big difference. You won't pay for what you don't need with us.
And I think it's really important. I think you've taught people what to start asking for. And I think that's so important right now. I think that we thought we knew what to ask for, but we are learning also through this process in the last 3 or 4 months that we also now need new things in place. And we're also going to go into the fall. And the truth of the matter is, in the fall, I'm not sure, I like to be positive, but I'm not sure people are going to necessarily believe in the second wave. And so your services are going to be that much more important, because if people don't take it seriously and keep people at work or don't make changes, they really do need to disinfect even more so to keep those numbers down.
Yeah.
And flu season.
I agree. And it's all coming.
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope that there's no second wave.
Of course.
But even still, flu season's still coming.
Mm-hmm.
Your regular kind of natural cycle of flu and cold season, and as that stuff comes through, all of this is still going to help.
Yeah.
I believe that because the world is practicing social distancing, because the world is really looking at germs and disinfecting, that we're going to have a much milder cold and flu season, that hopefully coronavirus doesn't just come back. Maybe even allergies are reduced. I think all of that is going to be good for.
I hope so, but my allergies have been. My allergies have been
rough.
so. The other day it looked like a winter day in my yard. The pollen that was flying around, but I hope so.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Jared, I can't thank you enough for taking some time, because I know that you need to get out there and clean the world. But give everyone again the website, because I definitely want everyone to head over to your new website.
The website and the code. So the website is www.jan-supply.com. That's JAN-SUPPLY.com. And the code is SARI 10. So when you go
just
to
like
check
my
out,
age.
Yep. Siri 10, and you save 10%.
All right, well, I'm heading over there now, because you can't clean enough in my house and have enough
Wonderful.
things. All right, thank you so much. It was so fun to talk to you. I always learned so much. And everyone head over to the website, use my name, my code. How fun. Have a great day.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Take care.